not dropping their third album, but actually their 10th, Death Cab for Cutie with Asphalt Meadows. Ben Gibbard's back, dog. I know you missed him.
Can't say I've thought about Ben Gibbard since his surprise appearance on the Chance the Rapper album in 2019.
Oh, well, that actually brings me to a great point, Dave. Or maybe a great question. Where's Chance? When are we
I
getting
was
music from
expecting it
Chance?
this year. I don't know. It's a good
Hmm,
question. He's been
yeah.
working. He's been putting little things out here and there, so we'll find out soon. Maybe Ben will be on that album too.
Maybe. And
I'm not necessarily rooting for that, honestly, in the interest of Chance, but
yeah, I don't know who I want on that Chance album at this point. Like who he usually collaborates with. That would be interesting. Nah. Anyways, this is a Death Cab for Cutie review, not a Chance the Rapper relitigation. So why don't we get back to Asphalt Meadows? Last time we talked about Death Cab specifically was 2018 with Thank You for Today, which I think we both really liked. I don't know if we like loved it, but I think we were like, yeah, Death Cab still makes a pretty good album from time to time. And it's been another 4 years, and I think my opinion remains exactly the same. Death Cab for Cutie is an incredibly competent band who makes really good music, but it's just like they've made so much of the same music at this point. I don't know if there's anything on Asphalt Meadows that jumps out to me as like, man, Death Cab's really going for it on this album. Did you have that feel?
I mean, 25 years into the band's career, it'd be a surprise if that was the case, right? Like
True.
album 10, as you said. Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't, I didn't take away anything too great from this. It's totally fine. I think the instrumentation is pretty good. There are some fun moments with the guitar like really rips in out of nowhere. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, we're vibing here. I was a bit disappointed in some of the lyrics, particularly like I feel like some of the hooks, like some of the refrains. I'm like, man, these are like some corny ass lines, my guy. Like you guys are deep in the career here. Surely you could do a little better than really letting me know how cold the winter is in Saskatchewan. You know?
I mean, they're an upper northwestern band who talks about upper northwestern shit. It's just like who they are at this point. And Death Cab. I guess that's a good point when you think about like a lot of the lyrics on transcendentalism and stuff like that. It was like really like meaningful shit and like really like thought provoking. You think about like Brothers on a Hotel Bed or something like that, and it's like that kind of stuff's moving. I don't know if they like still throw their fastball in that way. I think they're working with some different stuff here. Um, as I think about like what really stood out to me about Asphalt Meadows, I think it was just them like obviously trying on a few different hats here, right? Foxglove through the Clear Cut is this more like spoken word track that's a little bit more like shoegazy at times, a little more washed out in ways. Up and then like the next track, Pepper, is this stripped down acoustic track that has like some flares of like drums here and there, but it's really like stripped down, like sitting on a bench type of track with an acoustic guitar. And then you get to I Miss Strangers, which is like a little more like Joy Division y, right? A little bit more like 80s rock. And so it's them definitely like trying on a few like sounds and seeing how it works while still kind of keeping to the same Death Cab feel. And I think it all works pretty well. I definitely enjoy the album. But like you said, 10 albums in, how much more new stuff are we going to get from them? But this is the same conversation we had just a few weeks ago with oh man, what was the rock with that? It wasn't Pearl Jam, it was I'm going to look it up while we talk, but I feel like we have this conversation a lot with rock bands.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. I think just speaking to what I said before, some of the lyrical moments kind of took me out of it. I think starting off with "I don't know how I survive," that hook of "I don't know how I survive." It's like, okay, bro, like I get it. You're lucky the guitar is like really ripping right now because otherwise this song would be annoying to me. But like later on with Rand McNally, like "Don't let the light fade." It's like I got it the first time. It's like I don't know, like some of these refrains just like really like started to dwell on me. And I think no song worse than I Miss Strangers because I was like, I miss strangers more than my own friends. It's like, you know what? Releasing a song in 2022, it doesn't hit the same as if you put this out in 2020. My guy, you miss
Hmm.
strangers, go see some strangers. That is a pandemic song that you just put out too late. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really like think too much about it. I wonder if what they were going for there was like talking about how like people that became strangers are people that they miss more than like actual like strangers. I don't know. That would be my reading on it, knowing Death Cab, but I can see how that doesn't come across so clearly and can be a little annoying. Were there any tracks you did like, Dave?
Yeah, the first one, just for the rock. Um,
Yeah,
and even We Like Waves, despite the Saskatchewan line, I do think the drums sound really nice on that one.
yeah. I like Roman Candles. I think it's like got some nice like synths at the end of it. It really builds up. Almost kind of feels like a Killer song at times. Um, as I was as I was listening through, there's a couple of tracks that really sound familiar or really sound similar. Like Here to Forever and I'm as Strangers have like a very similar feel to me, just like different production on it. But near the end, like Fragments from the Decade, I don't know what it was, but something about that like more like just like washed out distorted vocal tinge that they put on his vocals kind of reminds me of some old school Death Cab feel. So I think I really enjoyed that. But yeah, I don't think this is Death Cab's like top five albums ever. It's probably like sixth or seventh, but that's kind of where they're at, and I'm okay with that. I wonder with Ben Gibbard, like he's done so many different projects throughout his life. I wonder if he would like want to do some different collaborations and just more production moving forward. I don't know. He's always working.